You are responsible to each other because when you win a game of football, you only need 8 players to perform well. If we can play like that every week, we'll get some level of consistency. There will be a point when I do quit, but I have absolutely no idea when that is. I'm going to tell you the story about the geese which fly 5,000 miles from Canada to France. As long as there are games to play, it is not over. Football management is such a pressurized thing, horse racing is a release. I tell the players that the bus is moving. This club has to progress. Myths grow all the time. If I was to listen to the number of times I've thrown teacups, then we've. Sometimes in football you have to hold your hand up and say, yeah, they're better than us. You can't applaud a referee. There are members of the London press who seek to antagonize me, deliberately. The work of a team should always embrace a great player, but the great player must always work. I don't like losing, but I've mellowed. I maybe have a short fuse, but it goes away quicker now. In England, it's a rare thing to see a player smoking, but, all in all, I prefer that to an alcoholic. There are members of the London press who seek to antagonize me, deliberately. The culmination of 3 trophies was the pinnacle of my career, and it has been rewarded with a knighthood. I've never played for a draw in my life. Her Majesty said she hoped I would have time for my horses. I own 2 and have shares in 4. Well, football is a hard game, there's no denying it. It's a game that can bring out the worst in you, at times. If my parents were still alive, they would be very proud. I feel sympathy for the working class lad. I've always championed about ticket prices. Football, bloody hell, after United's dramatic Champions League victory over Bayern Munich in 1999. At the end of this game, the European Cup will be only 6 feet away from you, and you'll not even able to touch it if we lose. And for many of you, that will be the closest you will ever get. Don't you dare come back in here without giving your all. 1999 European Cup final with Bayern Munich, halftime team talk. I remember the first time I saw him. He was 13 and just floated over the ground like a cocker spaniel chasing a piece of silver paper in the wind. On gigs. It's getting tickly now, squeaky bum time, I call it. If he was an inch taller, he'd be the best centre half in Britain. His father is 6 feet 2 inches, I'd check the milkman. On Gary Neville. They say he's an intelligent man, right? Speaks 5 languages. I've got a 15-year-old boy from the Ivory Coast who speaks 5 languages. On Wenger. He's a novice, he should keep his opinions to Japanese football, guess. Yep, Wenger. That lad must have been born offside. On Filippo Inzaghi. It was a freakish incident. If I tried it 100 or a million times, it couldn't happen again. If I could, I would have carried on playing. On that boot kick into Beckham's face. The credit to them, the better team won, and there's nothing we can do about that now. On defeat at the hands of Barca, Champions League final, 2009. At the last minute, from what I can gather, either Emmanuel Adebayor or his agent phoned us after they had agreed a deal with City and then did the same with Chelsea. He was desperate to get to either Chelsea or us. All they can talk about is Manchester United. On Manchester City. When an Italian says it's pasta, I check under the sauce to make sure. They are innovators of the smoke screen. On Italians. Jose understands winning and losing are twins in a way. When you win, you don't gloat, and when you lose, you don't go bananas. On Mourinho. If Chelsea drop points, the cat's out in the open. And you know what cats are like, sometimes they don't come home. Sir Alex Ferguson. Inspirational quotes for success. More motivation videos, like and subscribe. To ring the bell icon to the channel Empowerment 888.